Hello, my name is Joel Jusky from LaTurner University, and this video comes from ITS Instructional Technology Services. Now today we're going to be talking about the document camera, and the document camera is found in some of the classrooms around the Longview campus. Right now they're mostly located in the education building. Now the document camera can be thought of kind of as an overhead projector, but instead of a projector it is a camera that is hooked up to a projector and displayed on a screen. Now, a lot of the main uses in the classroom is to video a small book, a textbook, or any object, and that way you don't have to make copies of this, and you can just have the class look at it on the projector screen. Now, the document camera only has a few parts, and it's fairly simple to use. First of all, we have the base here, and it has different buttons to turn it off, to turn on the lights, to change the brightness, to zoom in and whatnot, and we'll go over those in a minute. And here we have lights that are on flexible arms to shine light onto whatever you're putting on the projector screen. And then we have the camera itself. This is also on a flexible arm, which is very handy to create different angles for your classroom to see things in different ways. Now we have different connections on the side and on the back, and we'll go over those and the different uses that we can do with them in future videos. Notice also we have a remote. This has almost the same amount of buttons that we have on the main base here. This way we can control the document camera without having to be right next to it the whole time. Now the first thing we need to do when using the document camera is to locate the Extron wall panel. In this classroom, it's right over here on my left, and we need to turn on the display and select the right input. Now the Extron wall panel may seem complicated at first, but it's fairly simple to use. In fact, you may have used one before in other classrooms because they are used to control the projectors in almost all the classrooms around the Longview campus of LaTurner. Now first we need to click the Display On button to turn on the projector, and now we need to decide what input to use. Now this is where it may be a little bit confusing because input 3 is labeled the dot camera for document camera, however this is not the right input. In this classroom we need to select laptop in order to use the document camera. Now I know this may not be intuitive, so what you may need to do is you need to click on each input and wait a little while after the projector warms up and find out which one is displaying the document camera image. Now even though we turned on the projector and given it time to warm up, the image from the document camera still isn't displayed on the projector screen. This is because the document camera isn't on yet, so we need to turn it on by pressing the power button located at the base of the document camera, or by finding it on the remote. Now we know that the document camera is on because the light next to the power button is lit up, and the camera itself has popped out. Now you see that the image from the document camera is displayed on the projector screen, and here we see the table with the little slit in it. Now that we have the document camera up and running, we can now grab the textbook that we want to display to the rest of the class and open it underneath the document camera. Now, you may look at the projector screen now and see that everything's a little bit washed out and we can't read it quite right. Now what we need to do is press the auto tune button on the base of the document camera, and that tries to adjust the brightness and the color levels to the best possible viewing. But as with all technology, it sometimes doesn't do it quite how we would like. As you can see, it's still really washed out and we can't read it quite right. So we need to grab either the remote and find the brightness down button, or press the brightness down button on the base of the document camera. So if we press that a few times and hold it down, we can see that it's a lot easier to read when it's a little bit darker like that. Now, you may also notice again that it's upside down and not oriented how we would like. So we can grab the remote and find the rotate button with the two arrows, or we can press the rotate button at the base of the document camera. You press it once and it goes to the side, and once more, and that's right how we would like it. So you can turn the pages and have the class see exactly what you want them to see in the textbook here. Now this isn't used only for textbooks, you can also display just pictures on paper and stuff. Now this picture is a little bit darker than the textbook, and maybe the auto tune button can do a little bit better this time. So let's try it again. And that's a lot better. We can see more what's in the picture there. Now the document camera also can be used greatly for transparencies. All it needs is a white piece of paper underneath the transparency, and you're good to go. Now another feature of the document camera that we haven't looked at very much are the side lamps on the flexible arms. Now I haven't found these to be very useful except when the lights in the entire room are off. So if we put a picture underneath here, we turn the lamps on, you see very little difference. It just becomes a little bit more washed out. But when you turn off the lights, you can see that without the lamps, we can't see anything at all. So if we turn the lamps on and then press the auto tune button, it adjusts the colors and brightness just right so we can see what we need to when the rest of the lights in the room are off. Now the document camera isn't only good for displaying flat objects like on paper and books, but also real live objects, such as this remote here. We can show this to the rest of the class and we can look at it from different angles and stuff, and that can be very useful to show to the rest of the class. Also, when we press the zoom button, it zooms in on the object that we have, and that makes it a lot bigger for the class to see, a lot easier. And then we can press the auto tune button to focus it and adjust the brightness levels so we can see it as the best possible way. So this is the document camera. They can be very useful for displaying different objects to the rest of the class. Now make sure when you're done to put the remote back in the little holder, turn off the document camera, and then to turn off the extra on wall panel for the display. My name is Joel Jeske, and I hope you enjoyed this video about document cameras and how to use them in the classroom setting.